Dylan or Joanne? Who will be evicted and who will rise to power and become the new head of household? Find out now on Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. Hello, I'm Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Welcome to Big Brother Cheesecake 5 All-Stars. It's day 30 inside the Big Brother Cheesecake house, and this week Jonathan was the head of household. He nominated Dylan and Chanel for eviction, but Chanel won the Golden Power Veto in the Big Brother Scrabble Golden Power Veto competition, chose to use it on herself, and Dylan nominated Joanne in her place, which means in just moments, Dylan or Joanne will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake house and will join Charlene in Redemple Temple, where they will duel, and one will stay, and one will be permanently evicted. Who will it be? We'll find out shortly. And who will become the new head of household? We'll also find out shortly. But first, a new alliance has formed, and in 5 seasons of Big Brother Cheesecake, finally an alliance name that I just love, that is hilarious. I love this alliance's name, and I can't wait to reveal it. Obviously, I can't because they're a secret for now, but new alliance, love the name. Love it. That's all I can say. I forgot to mention with Joanne, I made a mistake, so I'm going to finish her little monologue yesterday because I said that her blender broke, but I didn't say how. So I'll quickly get to it. So, my blender broke because I put a whole pineapple in without cutting it at all. I didn't know that you had to skin it and do all that crap. And my favorite place to get ice cream is the Dairy Queen at Queen and Center. I jump over the counter and I dip my titties in the chocolate dip. Who wants chocolate dip titties? Okay. Yeah, so that's all I have there. Now it's time to get to... Let's get right to it. Let's get to the eviction. So, Dylan, Joanne, your house guests have been voting, and I have the results. When I reveal the results of the eviction vote, the evicted house guests will have about 15 minutes to say his or her goodbyes, gather their belongings, and head to Redemple Temple to join Charlene, where you will duel for the chance to stay in the game. By a vote of 9-1, Dylan, you are evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 5 house. Dylan, you will always be an all-star. And you might still be the superstar because you are headed to Redemple Temple where you will face off against Charlene for a chance to stay in the game. So yeah, Dylan is heading to Redemple Temple where you will face off against Charlene. Dylan, I said pretty much everything I wanted to say yesterday. The one thing I forgot to mention, well, 2 things. One, I heard through the grapevine that you were thinking of quitting altogether because you didn't think you could win 3 Redemple Temple duels. You never know. Like, Rai, I love Rai, but he quit last week and he could have won 4 duels. It's possible. You only have to win 3 duels. Charlene already won 2, and she's admitted that she knows nothing. She remembers nothing about Big Brother Cheesecake. So it's totally possible, Dylan, for you to win 3 in a row. So please don't quit. In addition, yesterday was so funny when Dylan said, I can't believe how much all of you care and how much effort all of you are putting into this game. I'm thinking, yeah, it's All-Stars. Like, it's $500, half of which is cash. Like, yeah, they're putting effort in. And then right after you said, have you guys heard of orgs? I've been playing for like 10 years. You should like try out orgs. And I'm thinking, what do you think this is? Like, anyway, so Dylan and Charlene, your Redemple Temple duel, it was supposed to be tonight. Now, my schedule this week because of work is kind of a mess. So I finish work tonight at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I would like to do the duel at midnight Eastern Standard Time, but if that is too late for either one of you, and remember it's only 10 to 15 minutes, the other option is to have it tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So Charlene, Dylan, please let me know in the group chat whether you prefer midnight tonight or 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you're split, I'm going to stick with midnight. So I'm hoping that's okay. I know it's late, it's not ultra late, and it's going to be just 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. So that's about it. Oh, and Dylan, you have to, since you're the new comer to Redemple Temple, and you were the most recently evicted house guest, you have to choose a category. There are 3 categories left, but you cannot choose your own season unless it's the only category remaining, or you're both from the same season and you're not. So there's Big Brother Cheesecake 2, which you cannot pick. You can choose Big Brother Cheesecake 1, or you can choose All About Andrew Shevsik Moonves. Okay, and remember it's Jeopardy, so always answer in the form of a question, because Jeopardy is a party. Okay, now it's time to get to the Head of Household competition. Free from the threat of eviction, the Head of Household wins the perks of his or her private HOH bedroom and bathroom, a fruit basket with Arby's, a letter from home from a very special guest that I'm sure you will all love, and the responsibility of nominating 2 of his or her fellow house guests for eviction. This week's Head of Household competition is Big Brother Virus. And before I get to the results, I must say, finally, the Big Brother Virus competition was entertaining and ecstatic and shocking. So season 1, 2, and 3, the competition went by in like 10 minutes, and the result was predictable. Debbie, season 1. Dylan was a little bit not predictable, but he still hadn't pissed people off at that point in season 2. Nicole in season 3. And then last season, what I did was I introduced the time allotment, that you have to wait for a time interval. Last season, it was a 60-minute, 1-hour interval. Nobody seemed to complain. I checked yesterday. We finished at 9 p.m. last year. But I think last year, everybody knew that Curtis was going to win. Like, there was writing on the wall, and the big main alliance, the solar system, so to speak, sort of dictated that Curtis would win. Because everybody was just throwing it to Curtis so they could get Brandon out. Whereas this season, even though I reduced the intervals to 40 minutes, people still were pissed. So I might reduce it to 30 minutes next season, but I'm not doing less than that because I like the element of strategy of being able to chat with people and figure out what you're doing. Kind of like how at Tribal Council now, Jeff lets people whisper at Tribal Council to each other. It really adds an element of active playing where if you want to win, you gotta, tell people, please don't infect me or please vaccinate me. And I firmly believe that the person who won this competition would not have won if it wasn't for the time intervals. If everybody was just going like quickly, somebody else would have won. And I think that somebody else, should I spoil? I won't spoil. I think that, it's too late. I'll spoil. I think that somebody else who would have won would have been Curtis. I think Curtis was the person I predicted to win going in, and I think he would have won if it wasn't for the time constraint. Well, I don't know. Curtis, I think he is the type that excels in this competition. He won it last season, and he almost won it, as you'll find out in this season, because he's kind of a, for lack of a better word, popular kind of guy. So I don't know if you remember this, Curtis, but we were like in the 3rd grade maybe, and you had a birthday party where we went, all the mothers and all the boys went to see Home Alone 3 in theaters. I know, so cute. And we went to the theater, and granted Curtis was the birthday boy, but still, everybody wanted to sit next to Curtis in the theater. And we were like 7 or 8 years old. We were all whining that, I want to sit next to Curtis. I want to sit next to Curtis. And our moms were all laughing about how Curtis is Mr. Popular. And that thought resonated in me when we were doing this competition yesterday, that everybody wants to sit next to Curtis. So, yeah. I mean, it's a movie theater. The lights go down and then you're just watching the movie. But we're all kids and we all want to sit next to the boy we like the best, which at that time was Curtis. So, anyway. So this competition, it forces you to play. It forces you to make moves, throw stones at each other, exposes who's with who and who's not with who. So from a viewer production standpoint, it was amazing. And I must say, there were a lot of decisions made in this competition, that surprised me a lot. So, yeah. Okay, let's get to it. Is everybody ready? Then let's begin. So Kat started out with the vaccine because she won the Redemple Temple duel last week against Charlene. And she had to begin, and she says, I choose to infect Chanel. So Chanel was infected, she has to vaccinate somebody. I choose to vaccinate Joanne. So Joanne is safe on to round 2 along with Kat. Then Chad says, if anyone has to vaccinate someone and would prefer to infect someone, feel free to vaccinate me and I will infect the person of your choice. I vote to infect Brazil. Sorry, beautiful. So Chanel and Brazil out of the competition. Brazil, then, I choose to vaccinate Curtis. I want to sit next to him when we watch Home Alone 3. Curtis is vaccinated. I choose to infect Chantel. I'll admit a little bit of a surprise there. So Chantel has been infected, and then Chad says, I will allow you to vaccinate me, Chantel. Who would you infect? The offer above applies to you. Vaccinate me and I'll infect the player of your choosing. Bonus points if it's Aton. Oh, boy. What can be purchased there? At the Chad store. Shame, regret, and for a limited time only disappointment. Currently no stock of HOH keys or vetoes. Perfect! I wish I was still in advantage of this! Oh, so it is a 2020 store. I'm gonna vaccinate Jojo. Jojo is vaccinated. Jojo, if you infect me, I'll be sad. And I'm the first to publicly ask you not to infect me, so it's kinda illegal if you do. I choose to infect Chad. So Chad says, Jojo, you're such a loser. I know, Chad, thank you. As long as you're aware, admitting you're a loser makes you more of a loser than Aton. So we have remaining Aton, Dylan, Rhonda, and Nicole in round 1. Chad is up next. He must vaccinate somebody. And Chad decides... I'm infecting Dylan. No, sorry. I'm vaccinating Dylan. Thank you. I'm infecting Nicole. Then Nicole, whose voice I'm not revealing yet, chooses to vaccinate Aton. Which means by vaccinating Aton, that automatically means that Rhonda, who is the last person, is who Aton will infect. So infected and out of the competition, Chanel, Brazil, Chantal, Chad, Nicole, Rhonda. Remaining, Kat, Joanne, Curtis, Jojo, Dylan, Aton. Rhonda is next to vaccinate. I wish to vaccinate Kat. Okay? So Kat must now infect somebody. I choose to infect the adorable Jojo. Jojo's infected. I'm going to vaccinate Curtis. Sadly, I choose to infect Joanne. So this leaves this leaves Aton and Dylan. Joanne has to vaccinate one and the other will be infected. And Joanne says, I vote for Aton to have Charlene's vaccine. At one point they mentioned the vaccine and Charlene said, Joanne, that was a stupid comment. And she also told Chad to fuck off somewhere, but I can't remember now. So at the end of round 2, we have remaining Kat, Curtis, Aton. Dylan is the most recently infected house guest, so he gets to start round 3. And at this point, he says, sorry, Aton, but I'm infecting Curtis. Which basically suggests that Aton didn't want to win. Because Dylan said, sorry, Aton. Is this because I nominated you week 1 or because I voted to evict you this week? No, I was joking, it's all good. So, Dylan infects Curtis. We are down to Kat and Eitan. Whoever Curtis infects will be eliminated, and the other person will be the new head of household. This went on all day, and at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Curtis chose to infect Eitan, which means Kat, congratulations, you are the new head of household. Jonathan, please hand over the key to the HOH bedroom to Kat. Kat, you have until tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to privately message me your 2 nominees and a reason why. So, tomorrow, Charlene or Dylan, who will win the Redempble Temple duel and still have a chance to get back into the game? That's tomorrow. Friday, who will Kat nominate for Eviction? And we will pick players for the Golden Power Veto competition, which is an all brand new competition. Saturday is the Golden Power Veto rules, Sunday Golden Power Veto results, Monday Golden Power Veto ceremony, Tuesday the final 2 nominees plead their case, and Wednesday is the next live eviction and head of household where another house guest will be evicted from the Big Brother Cheesecake 5 house and will head to Redempble Temple. I'm Andrew Chefsik Moonves. Take care, and remember, a win is not necessarily victory, and a loss is not necessarily defeat. Good night.